phone. They're going to continue to go off.
We were going to answer.
Hi, this is the sheriff speaking.
I don't want us to testify. Good point. Or even worse, they'll go, hey, Mike.
He's very busy, yeah. All right, we ready? Take your time. We'll wait. Okay. Mike, 1, 2, test 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get started. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming. My name is Mike Gleason. I'm the sheriff of Williamson County. We know you're busy, so we appreciate your time. I'd like to first start off stating that we're very grateful for your assistance and your viewers' assistance yesterday, and a very eager farmer yesterday that assisted us in locating an 8-year-old girl that was missing, and we're glad that she's returned safely. So thank you for your assistance, your viewers' assistance, and solving that. But as you can see, while that was going on all day yesterday, we have other missions that are going on simultaneously. So this is a narcotics arrest that was made after a lengthy investigation done by our organized crime unit. And so at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Sergeant Heather Vargas. She is the supervisor over our organized crime unit and our narcotics unit. Sergeant.
Hello everyone, my name is Sergeant Heather Vargas, V-A-R-G-A-S. I'm the supervisor over the organized crime unit here at the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Yesterday at approximately 11:30, the organized crime unit, along with our excellent SWAT team, executed a narcotics search warrant at 1611 Jones Street in Taylor, Texas. As you can see behind us is some of the items that we seized. We arrested 2 subjects yesterday. One is Barry White, 46-year-old, date of birth 6/10 of 78. The other subject arrested was a Jesus Lopez, 26-year-old, date of birth 3/30 of 98. Along with the seizures, we also removed 4 neglected dogs from the location and started a investigation into animal cruelty with Douglas Barner, another detective here. This investigation started November of last year, and we completed it yesterday. Along with this stuff, we also seized a vehicle that we could not fit in this room and some cash. I can point out some items so you can understand exactly what they are. We have obviously marijuana that has been packaged in heat seal bags. This one over here. That were in a suitcase. Marijuana that's just in clear bags. We have THC wax that was in these in wax paper. We have all the packaging equipment that is baggies, scales, trays, more marijuana. We have cocaine is over here. And this area is just empty heat seal bags that marijuana used to be in. Obviously, they've either sold or they packaged into other bags. Also, we seized handguns. We seized a Smith & Wesson. We seized a Glock 17, a Draco, and a P22, along with numerous mags and ammo. We have cell phones, we have cash. That's about it. Are there any questions?
Do you have an idea of like how much marijuana that is?
So it's approximately 46 pounds, and each pound could be anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000.
So just tell us about, was this obviously this is a drug ring, what was going on, where was it potentially going to be distributed? And
So the location of the house was in Taylor, Texas. They could have distributed anywhere. They both had vehicles. They could have drove anywhere. As you can see, this is a large amount of marijuana and weapons to be in one location, a very small apartment. We believe, obviously, they had other people who would also help distribute.
Was this like, you said November of last year, you were just talking about like 3 months or a whole year?
November of 2023.
Of 22,
Yes.
so it's 3 months,
Yes.
3 months
Yes.
investigation. Okay, and how'd you find out this stuff was here?
Just tips.
From people in the community or?
Yeah, community tips.
Okay.
How does this compare to other drug trafficking busts?
Other investigations that we have concluded, we get methamphetamine, we get fentanyl, we get pills. This is just a larger marijuana operation that we were working, but that we get all types of drugs.
Is it normally this much?
When we hit search warrants, when we execute search warrants, it is a lot of evidence that we seize. 'Cause not only do we seize the drugs, but we can seize the packaging, anything that facilitates their distribution of it is why we even were able to seize the vehicle.
How big of a problem is something like this in Williamson County right now?
It is a problem. Drug problem is nationwide, obviously with the fentanyl, the overdoses. My unit also works the overdoses, so we are inundated with poisonings right now. But as you can see, it was a 26-year-old and a 46-year-old with 4 weapons with all these drugs inside the small apartment. There was other apartments in this complex that also have children. I mean, you can just imagine what could have happened.
What's I guess this kind of explained. You kind of explained it. This layout, the layout. You said it was like
Heat sealed.
heat sealed packages, and then I guess is that like kind of if you can kind of explain that, and then the other one you're kind of mentioned over there, like kind of the display of how it's packaged.
When they get it, it's shipped in the heat seal package to, they think we can't smell it or that the canines can't smell it. And then when they receive it, they open them, and this would be the next step is that they put it in bags, and that's how they would sell it.
Okay. And then the one next to it was it. That's kind of like a little bit interesting. What the one like in the middle? What is
The
it?
wax.
Yeah.
The wax. So they extract the THC from the marijuana, and then it's like almost like a honey, and it was actually, I don't think those were in the, it's like wax. Those are all, in each one of those envelopes is a wax that looks like honey, and it's the THC.
And then I also had a question I wanted to just double check on. You said that you guys were able to do the drug bust at 11:30 yesterday. Was that in the morning or at night?
Morning.
Okay.
And what can you tell us about the suspects?
Just their name and date of birth and age.
Male or female?
Oh, they're both males.
And they're residents of Taylor?
Yes.
This is a pretty significant hit, bust for you guys?
Yes, it's a good hit. I mean, anything that we take off the streets is a plus for us.
How long do you think they were allegedly distributing to different areas?
I could not give you an exact time. I know in November we hit a different apartment in that same complex, and then we were informed that there was more going on. Is why we started another investigation.
Was that apartment, did it have a similar return in terms of things you guys seized? Or
It was different
Okay.
items. Different.
Is there anything you would want residents in Taylor to know that might see this and be concerned that this is happening in their backyards?
Just for anybody in the Williamson County area, we have a tip line. If they want to give a Crime Stoppers or tips, we're out here to get this off the streets to make our community safer. So definitely if you see something, say something. And we have tip lines and different phone lines, emails for that type of tip.
What measures were taken to make sure that these could all be seized in the safest way possible?
We utilize a SWAT team. So our SWAT team here at the Williamson County Sheriff's Office almost go to every single search warrant execution. They're trained. They clear the house residence, they detain any suspects, and then we're given the freedom to search the residence.
Any issues yesterday during the search warrant?
No, sir. No.
How many people work with you in the organized crime unit, and is there anybody either at the sheriff's office or elsewhere in the county that you guys would want to kind of thank or shout out?
It is 6 detectives work in the organized crime unit, myself and then a lieutenant, and obviously I'm my chain of command all the way up to the sheriff. We work with several agencies. Taylor City was not involved on this one. We have had them involved in the past. This was strictly a sheriff's office operation.
You said you're in a 3-month investigation. Hopefully you can share a little bit. Was there like surveillance obviously involved over this 3-year period or 3-month period, and then you went with the warrant?
We have a lot of different ways to utilize our skills to get search warrants. So we use a lot of different investigative skills.
Where's this stuff coming from? Do you have any idea? I see some labels on the packaging. What is that?
The
What is
label would
this?
just be the flavor of the marijuana. We haven't interviewed him enough and see if he will even tell us where he's getting it shipped from. But obviously, probably another state.
Cocaine one, is that a significant amount?
No, that's not as significant. We've seized a lot more than that, but that's approximately over 3 grams over there.
So what are these guys facing?
We arrested them on several different charges. Both subjects were arrested for possession of marijuana, 50 pounds or less, but more than 5 pounds. Barry White was arrested for felon possession of firearm. Actually, Lopez was also arrested for felon possession of firearm, and Lopez was arrested for tampering with evidence.
Are these guys that you guys are you familiar with them, or
Yes.
are these? How would you?
They have a criminal history, so they have been in our system before.
It might be in the packet, but could you kind of break down like the total amount of like in terms of dollar figures of what was seized, like maybe in total?
I did not calculate any of that, but like I have said, each pound, so these are approximately a pound each in the heat seal bag, could be anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000.
Okay.
So altogether, it's over 46 pounds
Okay.
of just marijuana.
Yeah.
Like the wax, we have 2 pounds. We have 3 grams of the cocaine. I believe that was all the narcotics that we got.
Okay. How much cash was seized?
It was approximately $900.
These guys live or rented at this place? Is it an apartment?
Apartments.
Okay.
They were roommates.
They're roommates, okay.
So I'd like to expound a little bit on what you said. It's rather interesting. This is an apartment complex and a small apartment, conceivably based on what we would be used to in a normal residential setting. As you probably could tell, as soon as you walked into what we call our patrol room, this is our conference room, the overwhelming smell. So when we start receiving tips from neighbors and things of that nature, obviously it comes out in a pound where it's from the manufacturer, where it's brought at a wholesale level, and you can tell how that is dumbed down into saleable amounts, right? Even to the small balls to the very end of that, and then to that large one right there, the very small, what you'd call a one hit, or what you'd go by, do it hand to hand. So when the neighbors are smelling this, or the amount of traffic to produce this type out of a small apartment, that's when your neighbors start talking and saying, why are 300 people a night coming through, the arbitrary number, my number, are coming through, and that attracts. And to the sergeant's point, you have a lot of kids running around. So just the cross-pollination of what's going on in recruiting and hiring some of these kids just to do your ill will for you. So people say, well, it's just marijuana. We have to understand, you talk about gateway drugs. Well, we have our gateway drug leading into cocaine. No telling how much cocaine they moved, and no telling how much cocaine we may have missed. And so they are frequent flyers to us. They are known to us. And so it is a big deal. It's not a big deal in the grand scheme of narcotics, but it's a big deal on how much traffic was coming out of one apartment in Taylor, Texas. Okay, and if I'm a small low-time dealer, low-hanging fruit dealer, I don't need that kind of armament. So you can see where it goes and why over 3 months, you want to watch as many people, gather as much intel as you can about, because we're not just watching these guys, we're capturing every license plate that comes out of that apartment complex. And we may have other different areas to capture that type of information without having eyes on it. And we have a lot of technology. So we start running those cases concurrently as well, which will lead to another apartment like this as well, or home. Any other questions? We can get out of your way. Like I said, take all the shots that you like. Just please don't pass this, because we do have a chain of custody that we are extremely concerned with as far as the narcotics. And just a little housekeeping, everybody behind you, please do not photograph them.
Sure, if you don't mind.
Sir, yes.
I don't know if you guys do anything on the drugs, but just real quick, could you briefly just mention what happened with the Amber Alert, how the girl was found and stuff like that?
Great question. Due to the Amber Alert and due to our social media and your viewers, we had a rancher who was familiar with the information that went out, and he had noticed that his cattle were spooked. His cattle were spooked. He looked and he saw a girl matching the description in what I would call a haul-off trailer, a trailer of some sort. And he called. We had a bird in the air. We had an aircraft that ran the heat flare, found her in that, and they landed, and we had deputies close in on her. We first sent I believe a drone overhead so we could track her in case, prior to any contact, if she would have moved, we could have tracked her.
Any idea how she got out of the house?
Walked out, to the best of our knowledge. No, we're still investigating that. Yeah. So
Did her parents were they the ones?
mom and dad, mom, I believe, is the one who notified us. Yes.
Okay, and then that's a long period of time, right?
Yeah, and due to the dark and cold and things like that, yeah.
And
So
what would the parents say? Just, hey, our daughter's missing? Is that
I was not privy to the exact conversation, but they were interviewed. I mean, that's standard protocol on any type of missing person, runaway child, whatever the deal is you want mom and dad, what happened? It speaks volumes. Did you just have an argument? Oh yeah, she was really mad. Well, that kind of tells you it. So mom and dad were notified. Mom and dad called us out of concern for her being missing. So I have not been debriefed on why she exactly left yet, but it will go into the long-term investigation, to find out what's going on.
How was she when you
As far as I know, a little chilly, but in good spirits and returned home. No need for EMS. She was not transported, so she's in great shape.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Was there any clarification on why she might not have left with her prescription glasses?
No. We're dealing with siblings too that saw some part, and the other siblings saw another part. Mom and dad have a part, and just trying to get that puzzle back together. But we're not myopic. We got a lot of irons in the fire. So while we were looking for her, we had a whole other SWAT team and this going on. So it's getting very busy around here.
What were the qualifications for the Amber Alert? That was pretty, I guess, relatively quick, right?
We basically, from what I gathered, had the assistance of the Texas Rangers or Department of Public Safety who was on scene, and they're the ones who assert the Amber Alert. So we gave them the information that met their criteria, and it came out. I'll get out of your way if y'all want to get some better shots.
Thank you, sir. Sorry if you guys still have ears on. That's probably horrible. Sorry, guys.